They laughed when she asked to marry their son, but 24 hours later, they were begging for her forgiveness. Emily Carter stood outside the grand mansion, holding a small gift with trembling hands. She wasn't there for money, she wasn't there for status. She was there because she loved Daniel. Daniel had invited her to meet his parents after months of dating. But what happened next would change all of their lives forever. The massive doors opened. Inside stood Daniel's parents, Richard and Victoria Harrison, owners of one of the largest luxury real estate companies in the city. Everything inside screamed wealth: crystal chandeliers, marble floors, expensive artwork. Victoria looked Emily up and down. She noticed Emily's simple dress, no designer handbag, no jewelry, just quiet confidence. Victoria whispered to her husband, "She doesn't belong here." Dinner began. Richard asked, "So, what does your family do?" Emily smiled politely. "My father owns a small business." She didn't elaborate. Richard smirked. Victoria exchanged amused glances with her friends. Then Richard leaned forward. "Our son has a future to protect. We expect him to marry someone from our level." The room became painfully silent. Daniel grabbed Emily's hand. "I love her," but Victoria interrupted. "Love doesn't build empires." Richard placed an envelope on the table. "Take $50,000. Leave Daniel." Emily slowly pushed the envelope back. "I didn't come here for your money." Victoria laughed. "That's exactly what someone after money would say." Daniel stood up angrily. "This is enough." Emily gently stopped him. She quietly stood, looked at everyone, and simply said, "I wish your family happiness." Then she walked away. The next morning, Richard received an invitation to one of the city's biggest charity galas. Every billionaire in the region would attend. The keynote speaker was listed as Emily Carter. Victoria frowned. There must be another Emily Carter. That evening, the ballroom was filled with celebrities, CEOs, and investors. Then the announcer spoke. "Please welcome entrepreneur and philanthropist, Emily Carter." The lights turned toward the stage. Richard froze. Victoria nearly dropped her glass. It was her, the same woman they had humiliated. But now, everyone stood and applauded. Emily began speaking. "My parents taught me one lesson: never tell people how much you own. Let your character introduce you first." The audience nodded. She continued, "Our family recently donated $100 million to children's hospitals." The room erupted in applause. Richard's face turned pale. Victoria couldn't believe it. Their entire company wasn't worth half that amount. Daniel looked at Emily with pride, not because she was wealthy, because she had never changed, even after being insulted, even after being rejected. She had remained kind. After the speech, investors surrounded Emily. Business leaders waited patiently just to shake her hand. The Harrisons stood alone. For the first time, money couldn't buy respect. Richard slowly approached Emily. "I'm sorry. We judged you without knowing you." Emily smiled gently. "No, you judged me without knowing me. There is a difference." Those words hit harder than any insult. Victoria lowered her eyes. "We made a terrible mistake." Emily nodded. "We all make mistakes. The important question is whether we learn from them." Daniel walked beside Emily. This time, no one stopped them. No one questioned their future. Because true wealth had finally been revealed, not in bank accounts, but in character. Ending. Months later, Emily and Daniel were married in a simple ceremony. No extravagant displays, no endless luxury. Instead, they asked guests to donate to children's charities instead of bringing gifts. Even Richard and Victoria volunteered. Their greatest investment was no longer money. It was becoming better people. Sometimes the richest person in the room isn't wearing designer clothes. Sometimes real wealth is quiet. Real wealth doesn't need to prove itself. And the people who judge others by appearances often discover the truth when it's already too late. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes that character is worth more than money.